My name's Kayla Reynolds. I'm 29 now. 5 years ago, my family wiped me out of their lives as if I'd never been born. I'm standing in our old kitchen back in Grand Rapids, flipping burgers that hiss too loud in the pan. Dad's locked on the baseball game, grumbling at every strike. Mom's pacing, chasing crumbs and shadows around the table. My brother, Brandon, brags about his online toy shop. $2,000 in sales today, he says proudly. I clear my throat. Got promoted. Senior coordinator. They're sending me to Key West. No reaction. Brandon keeps scrolling. Dad doesn't look up. Pass the ketchup, he mutters. Mom finally glances my way, just to say, Kayla, quiet down. Brandon's going live. Later that night, Aunt Valerie corners me in the hallway. They'll never see you, kid. Go make your own life. Her words cut deeper than any argument could. So, I pack one bag, leave my key on the counter, and slip out before sunrise. No texts. No calls. By morning, they've deleted my number. If your family's ever pretended you were dead, hit subscribe right now. Because when my aunt posted one photo of me on a yacht, my dad reached out for the first time in 5 years. And you won't believe what he wanted. 3 months later, I step off a one-way flight to Key West. Just a duffel bag and $200 to my name. The airport shuttle drops me at a rundown motel off Duval Street. I pay cash for a week, no questions asked. My first job comes from a flyer pinned to a marina post. Deckhand wanted, $10 per hour. No experience. I show up at dawn tie lines, scrubbing decks, and hauling ice chests until my palms split open. The boss, a rough old guy named Pete, tosses me a faded shirt. You start now. I rent a cramped studio above a dive bar. Thin walls, loud bands. Every night the floor vibrates with music. My phone stays silent. No calls. No family chat. I keep checking once a week, then stop. One evening, I scroll through my contacts. Mom, Dad, and Brandon gone. I didn't delete them. They did. Weeks blur into months. I learn the ropes, which boats run late, which captains tip in beer, and which don't tip at all. Promotion comes quick, from dockhand to logistics assistant, managing crew schedules and fuel runs. My first paycheck clears, for digits, all mine. I buy a used scooter and park it by the marina. Every Sunday, Aunt Valerie texts, still breathing. At first, I reply with one word, yeah. Then with tiny updates, got a raise. She never pries, never brings up the family, just ends every message the same way. Proud of you, kid. Keep going. And somehow, those are the only words that ever feel like home. I usually steer clear of social media, but one night I log into an old account just to move some photos. Brandon's profile shows up under suggested. His toy store page is impossible to miss. Flashy banners, sold-out launches, celebrity mentions, and comments from my mom. So proud of my genius son. Dad captions a photo of them at Brandon's warehouse, arms slung around stacks of boxes. There's not a single trace of me. I close the app and delete it for good. Winter arrives mild. I rent a one-bedroom near the harbor, still affordable, but this one has a window facing the water. Work ramps up fast. I'm managing multi-boat charters, hammering out supplier deals. Then my boss calls me in a promotion. You're running the show now, he says, handing me a clipboard and a radio. I take over scheduling early morning departures, chasing late cruises, balancing spreadsheets until midnight. Valerie's text shift tone. Heard you're killing it down there. I snap a photo of my new badge. She replies with a thumbs up emoji, and they don't deserve to know. No judgment, no pity, just steady fire. A year passes. I open a savings account labeled Boat Fund. Every spare dollar goes in. After shifts, I walk the docks, studying boats for sale, comparing prices, hulls, and engine hours. The dream sharpens, something real to work toward. Life on my own becomes a rhythm. Holidays slide by unnoticed. My birthday, too, no card, no call. I toast with Pete and the crew at a waterfront bar instead. Someone asks about family. I shrug. Long story. They don't pry. When a storm hits, Valerie checks in. Power out, she asks. I tell her the marina's untouched. She sends a voice note. You built something solid. Don't lose it. I save it and play it whenever doubt creeps in. By year 2, I'm running the entire logistics team. My salary doubles. I lease a slip for a small skiff, practice docking, take online captain's courses. The ocean stops feeling like a stranger. It starts feeling like home. Valerie's messages stay steady, short, bright notes. Saw a yacht listing. Thought of you. I text back updates, halfway to down payment. She never mentions Grand Rapids. Neither do I. The silence from Michigan settles into fact. They moved on, and so did I. But every Sunday, Valerie's message arrives, still breathing. And every time, I answer stronger. Year 3. I sign the papers for my first yacht. The broker slides the contract across the marina office desk. 38 feet, twin diesels, a bargain after storm repairs. I initial every page, wire the down payment from the boat fund. When the keys hit my hand, he grins. She's yours, Ms. Reynolds. I rename her Drifter that same afternoon. Paint the letters myself. The next morning, my boss calls me in again. Fleet's expanding. We need a director. You're it. Fleet Operations Director. A 30% raise, plus bonuses tied to revenue. I hire 2 assistants, revamp scheduling software, slash idle hours in half. Profits climb. I upgrade to a dockside condo with a private slip for Drifter. Insurance renewal time. My agent suggests bringing in a specialist for high-value vessels. That's how Mason Cole enters the picture, crisp shirt, clipboard in hand, and his Labrador, Rusty, padding alongside. Policy audit, he says, giving my hand a firm shake. We walk through Drifter, deck by deck. He notes a few coverage gaps, recommends add-ons for liability and storm surge protection. I sign the updated policy right then. Smart move, Mason remarks. Call me if the rates shift. We exchange business cards. His reads Cole Financial, Law, and Marine Assets. Later, I find out his I keep that note to the first weekend, I kept it. Drop in. Silence. I got home. No schedules, obligations. Just me and the water. Then Mason follows up by email, notes about tax deductions for business use and depreciation schedules. I respond with a few questions about setting up an LLC. He offers a free consultation. We meet at a coffee shack near the marina. Rusty greets Luna like an old friend. Mason sketches diagrams on a napkin, keep personal assets protected. Register the yacht under the company name. I jot down every point and put them into action. Soon after, Valerie's texts take a different tone. Mason tells me, "You're asking the right questions." That's when I realize he's mentioned me to her. The following Sunday, Valerie texts, "Mind if I drop by?" I send her the marina address. 2 weeks later, she shows up in a rented convertible, hugs me hard on the pier. "Look at you, Captain." We step aboard Drifter. She runs her hand along the rail. They'd lose it if they saw this. I show her the galley and the berth I turned into an office. She listens as I describe my promotion, eyes shining. "You earned every inch," she says, no pity, just pride. We grill fish on deck, talk until the stars scatter across the sky. She leaves promising to come back soon. Mason stays in touch. Quarterly check-ins turn into full-on strategy meetings. He flags a potential charter company acquisition, runs the numbers. I counter with expansion ideas for the fleet. We close deals over takeout in Drifter's cockpit while Rusty and Luna chase gulls along the dock. Valerie visits monthly now, brings groceries, stocks my fridge, insists on cooking dinner. Someone has to feed you properly. We sail to sandbars, anchor, and float in the clear shallows. She tells old stories but skips the family drama. "Keep looking ahead," she always says. Workload doubles. I manage 10 vessels, handle fuel contracts, and train new captains on updated procedures. Bonuses pile up. Drifter gets upgrades, solar panels, satellite internet. I split my time between the condo and the yacht. Mason sets up trusts and shields my growing equity. "Build walls they can't climb," he advises. I nod, signing wherever he marks. On Valerie's last visit, she snaps a selfie at the bow. For my phone, she claims. I don't think twice. Then one Saturday, she rolls up to the dock in another rental, cooler in hand, sunglasses perched on her head. Lunch on me, she calls, hopping aboard Drifter like she's lived there for years. I clear the cockpit table as she opens the cooler, lobster rolls from a roadside stop. We eat in easy silence, salt air mingling with garlic aioli. When she's done, she wipes her hands and says, "Show me around." I give her the tour, the upgraded electronics at the helm, the new custom cushions, and the berth office with dual monitors tracking the fleet. She nods approvingly at each improvement. "You've turned this place into a command center." At the bow, she halts. "Stand there." I pose, hands tucked into my pockets. She snaps a few photos, then steps back, capturing the full stretch of Drifter with me right in the center. Iconic. I narrow my eyes. "What's this for?" "For me." She lies smoothly, already typing. She tilts her phone to show me before posting, a picture of me on the boat. Caption: "My niece, Kayla Reynolds, just did the impossible. Built and owns her own yacht. All by herself." I reach for the phone. "Valerie, don't." Too late. It's live. Likes pour in instantly from her crowd. Stunner. Queen. I pace across the deck. "You know the whole family sees your posts, right?" She shrugs. "Exactly." We sit again. She studies me. "You've come a long way, kid. Director title, yacht paid off, living by your own rules. They'll come sniffing now." I fold my arms. "Let them." She cuts me a sharp look. "No. Keep your walls high. They treated you like you didn't exist for 5 years. One picture doesn't fix that." Her phone won't stop buzzing. She checks it and smirks. "Cousin Jenny, asking if that's really you." I lean over. More comments flood in. She looks loaded. "How?" Valerie pockets the phone. "See, envy already. You earned every jealous word." She raises her water bottle. To staying untouchable. We take Drifter out for an hour, gliding past the marker buoys. She takes the wheel when I let her, cheering as we hit plane. "Beats Michigan traffic," she yells, laughing. Back at the dock, she hugs me tight. "Call anytime. And don't you dare go soft if they reach out." By Monday, the post has over 300 shares. Valerie keeps sending screenshots. Never knew she had it in her. Uncle must be lonely down there alone. Tuesday, Gary likes the post, no comment. Linda writes, "Beautiful boat." Valerie texts me, "Mom's fishing." Wednesday, it's Brandon's turn. He messages Valerie directly. "Tell me that's photoshopped." Her reply, "Nope. 100% real." I read it on my lunch break, fork frozen halfway. Mason glances over. "Family drama?" I show him. He chuckles. Classic. Thursday, the post hits 1,000 interactions. Valerie calls during my afternoon meeting. I step outside. "They're freaking out up here," she whispers. "Dad asked for your number." My pulse spikes. "What did you tell him?" "That you'd call if you wanted to." I say nothing. She fills the silence. "Proud doesn't even cover it, Kayla. You're living proof they were wrong." Friday brings more prying. A cousin messages Valerie. "Kayla's single yacht life must cost a fortune." She shuts it down. "None of your business." Over the weekend, Valerie shows up again, unannounced, with steaks in tow. We grill on deck. "Heard the whispers?" she asks, flipping meat. I nod. "They're painting you as the villain who disappeared." She plates dinner. "Good villains always win. Just remember why you left. They picked Brandon's failures over your wins every time." I take my time. "What if Dad calls?" "Hang up," she says simply. Her praise flows easily that night. "You're not just surviving anymore, Kayla. You're thriving. And that's what scares them most." Sunday, a text from her. 1.2K and counting. Still holding the line. Week 2, Monday, everything blows up. My phone lights up nonstop with family group chat screenshots from Valerie. "Linda, we should reach out to Kayla." "Gary, yeah." "Brandon, if she's got extra money lying around." Valerie adds her comment. There it is. I stare at the screen for 10 full minutes before deleting the entire thread. She shows up at the end of the month, arms loaded with groceries. "Saw that last one," she says. I nod, keeping my distance. While unpacking, she repeats, "You've got the power now." Over coffee, she raises her mug again. To the niece who broke free. Monday morning, my phone won't stop buzzing. I grab it from the nightstand. Unknown number. Text preview, Kayla, it's Dad. My heart stops. I sit upright. The full message reads, saw your photo on Facebook. You're alive. We need to talk. Call me. I don't. Instead, I screenshot and forward it to Valerie. She replies instantly, block him. I hover my thumb over the screen, hesitating. Another buzz, same number. Your mom and I are worried. 5 years is a long time. I stand, pacing the cabin as Luna whines at my feet. A third text arrives. Brandon saw too. He's shocked. Valerie calls. Don't respond yet. I put her on speaker. He used we like nothing ever happened, she scoffs. Classic. Let them stew. I mute notifications and head to work. Mid-morning, an email from Gary. Tried calling. Answer your father. Attached, a flight itinerary. Departure, Grand Rapids, tomorrow. Arrival, Key West, Wednesday afternoon. 3 passengers, Gary, Linda, Brandon. I forward it to Mason. His reply, possible harassment. Document everything. At lunch, Valerie sends more screenshots from the group chat. Linda's booking a hotel near the marina. Brandon, can't wait to see that boat up close. I call Valerie. They're coming, I tell her. I know, she says. The post's blowing up again. Your dad's profile pic? Him with Brandon's inventory. The afternoon drags through a meeting. My phone's on silent, but I check it anyway. Voicemail from Gary. Kayla, pick up. We're family. I delete it without listening. Inbox full. After work, Mason stops by the dock. Rusty jumps aboard. From a legal standpoint, Mason says, no trespass if you invite them. Revoke access now. I nod and draft a message, do not come. You're not welcome. But I don't send it yet. Evening. Brandon messages directly from an old number I never blocked. Sis, that yacht. Real dad says we're visiting. Cool if we crash there? I show Valerie over video. She bursts out laughing. Crash on your property? Exactly. Night falls. Another email. Hotel confirmation near my slip. Gary added a note. See you soon, kiddo. I pace the deck, Luna padding behind me. Valerie texts. Stay firm. They want something. Tuesday dawns. I block Gary's number. Moments later, an email bounces back. Number changed. Fine. See you tomorrow. Mason reviews the itinerary. They even booked a rental car. They're serious. By midday, Linda tries an old email. Honey, we miss you. Let's reconnect. I archive it without replying. Valerie forwards another chat. Brandon, bet she owes us for vanishing. At work, I'm distracted. My boss notices. Everything okay? Family stuff, I mutter. Afternoon brings the final confirmation. Text from the airline to Gary's phone somehow forwarded. Flight's on time. Valerie calls that evening. They take off tomorrow. You ready? As I'll ever be. I double-check Drifter Line's locks, tighten the cabin latch, and hang a sign. Private vessel, no unauthorized entry. Mason drops off paperwork, trespass notice template. Serve it if needed. That night, one last text from an unknown number. Landing 2 p.m. meet us at the airport. I ignore it. Wednesday morning, I watch their flight approach on the tracker. Valerie texts, breathe. You're the one in charge of the dock. They touch down. It's Wednesday afternoon when they roll up with luggage in tow. Dad waves like we're lifelong friends. Kayla, there she is. Mom clutches her handbag, eyes flicking toward the drifter. Brandon's hauling a roller suitcase, flashing that too-wide grin. I'm standing at the gangway, arms folded. What are you doing here? Dad steps closer. We flew in to see you. Family reunion. He starts to board. I block him. Private property. State your reason. Mom jumps in, voice soft. Sweetheart, let us on. It's boiling out here. Brandon nods eagerly. Yeah, sis, show us the yacht. I don't move. Answer first. Dad exhales. Fine. We saw the photo. Impressive. Now move. I step aside but warn, don't touch anything. They come aboard in a line. Dad whistles at the controls. Mom sinks onto a cushion. Brandon's already snapping selfies. This is insane. I lean against the railing. Tour's over. Why are you here? After 5 years, Dad finally meets my eyes. Straight talk? Brandon's in trouble. Brandon cuts in fast. My online toy shop, suppliers want payment up front now. 52 grand, or they pull everything. Mom adds quickly, we figured you could help. You're doing great. Dad nods. Lend the boy the money. Family helps family. I stare at them. You ignored me for 5 years, and now I'm your ATM? Brandon pleads, come on, Kayla. I built that store from scratch. One bad quarter. Mom's voice trembles. He's your brother. Think what he's going through. Dad piles it on. We raised you better than this. Don't turn your back on blood. Remember, your success started with our support. I laugh, sharp and cold. Support? You erased my number the day I left. Mom dabs at her eyes. We were hurt. You disappeared. Brandon mutters, selfish move, honestly. Dad waves it off. Water under the bridge. Just help us. Prove you're still a Reynolds. I point toward the exit. Off my boat. Now. They freeze. Mom's voice breaks. You'd really let your brother fail? Brandon scoffs. 52,000's pocket change for you. Look at this setup. Dad glares. Ungrateful after all we've done. Mom's pleading now. I prayed for this reunion. Don't send us away. Brandon pulls out his phone. Fine. I'll start a crowdfunding page. Tag you as sponsor. I snatch it from his hand. Try it. Dad softens. Kayla, please for old time's sake. Mom adds, remember holidays? We used to be close. I hand the phone back. Those ended the moment you picked his dreams over mine. Every single time. Brandon scoffs again. Jealous much? I took risks. Dad insists he needs a bailout, you don't. Mom rises to her feet. If Brandon loses that business, it's on you. The guilt hits hard, but I hold steady. Leave, or I'm calling security. Dad grabs the suitcase. You'll regret this. Mom glares. Heartless. Brandon's last. Karma's real, sis. They shuffle down the dock. Dad turns one more time. Last chance. Wire the money tonight. I slam the gate shut. Luna barks once. I lock it behind them. A message buzzes, Valerie. Handled. I text back. They asked. I refused. Later, Mason called. Heard from the dock staff. Want me to file trespassing? Not yet, I said. That evening, my inbox overflowed. Dad's email, reconsider. Brandon's messages, frantic. Mom's attachment, an old family photo. Then Brandon again, an invoice marked sibling loan, $52,000. I deleted everything. As night fell, I sat in the there they were, arguing right after Valerie's voice they finally showed me. I saved them. I walked to them. They stood on the dock together, facing me. Dad in front, Mom hesitating, Brandon restless. I lifted a hand. Stop. Let's count 5 years. Mom froze. Brandon shifted. Wait, I began. Year 1, my birthday. No call. I turned 25 alone in a motel. You posted photos from Brandon's launch party. Dad's lips parted, but I went on. Year 2, my promotion to coordinator. I texted the family group. I'll read. None replied. You invested in his warehouse instead. Brandon scoffed. That was business. I ignored him. Year 3, I bought Drifter. Not a word from you. But you co-signed his supplier loans. Mom whispered we didn't know. You chose not to, I snapped.